that determination is too soon to tell. And we're now in the thick of COVID-19, and for West Michigan nurses, the first few weeks of the pandemic was all about preparation for any patients.
And now that there are COVID-19 patients, their mindset has changed. Our Sarah Grimmer joins us live with their new focus and how their actions can help. Good morning.
Good morning to the both of you. West Michigan medical staff are now focusing on the patients that they have, and they are also focusing on preparing for a possible surge of patients like we've seen on the east side of the state these past few weeks. Now, nurses at Metro Health Hospital Emergency Department tell me that at this moment, their patient volume, they say, is actually manageable, and they have the personal protection equipment that they need. However, they are being very careful with that equipment in case there is a big surge in COVID-19 patients here in West Michigan in the coming weeks. At this moment, their hospitals have changed. The halls are quiet with the absence of patients, visitors, and those at risk of COVID-19 are in their own section of the ER to avoid that cross-contamination. ER nurses tell me two of the biggest difficulties are the fear of getting the virus themselves and contaminating those that they love, and also watching patients have to be alone without visitors during this scary time. As they take on these hardships for us, some nurses have even formed prayer groups to cope with this. Here's what they're asking of you to help.
I think we do tend, when we see something improving, that a lot of times we start to kind of get a little bit laxed or say, well, okay, not such a big deal. Let's just go about back to our normal life. And I think right now is really the time to stay vigilant with all the things that have been done.
We're going to do our best as healthcare providers to provide for our patients and our families and our community also. And to educate them, and if they get discharged from the emergency department, and that's a good thing, and we educate them to stay home, only come back if you see these signs, only go out if you need to get groceries, try to limit grocery shopping, stuff like that. We're trying to educate our community also, which is a very important aspect.
So you just heard it from them. The number one thing they say that you can do to help them is to continue to stay home and to continue to social distance. So take a look at this visual that we're putting on your screen right now. This is really amazing. This really proves their point. It's a great illustration. This is a 3D social distancing simulation posted by the New York Times this week. Now, this shows how social distancing truly stops the spread of respiratory droplets when you stay 6 feet away from each other. So this shows why it is so important that we continue to social distance to make those nurses' jobs a little bit safer and to keep our country healthy. Reporting live from home, Sarah Grimmer for Fox 17 News.
Sarah, thank you. Yeah, we all have to do our part right now.
For sure. I never thought I'd be such a germ freak like I am now.
I know. It's good that everyone's taking those precautions. So 6:10, more to come after the break.
Plans to get the economy up and rolling are in motion. I'm Kevin Cork in Washington with more on how some states are trying to figure out just how to get that done. That's coming up.
Being isolated with loved ones during these uncertain times can be stressful. What a therapist is suggesting to help ease the tension in your household.
And we have a birthday shout out this Thursday morning. Liam is turning 4 years old today. His parents say he's sweet, energetic, and loves hamburgers. Happy birthday, Liam. In these uncertain times, tensions between each other can become more difficult to avoid.
But before it puts a strain on our relationships, Nicole DiDonato has some helpful words from therapists. Good morning, Nicole.
Yeah, and good morning once again. So, maybe we're already seeing that on social media, obviously the media. People have different opinions on how to go about navigating these next few weeks. It's a lot of extra stress on many of us as we try to get through this, and it shows itself in different ways in a person. So Roseanne Raftery, she is a counselor with Lifeology Counseling in Grand Rapids, says that now is a time that we should really get curious about one another. So we're not always going to agree with our friends or our family on social media, even the people in our own homes. So she advises that we really make an effort and take the time to learn about the person with whom we're disagreeing. Find out what's going on in their lives, try to see and understand why they're feeling a certain way. She even encourages everyone to take a break from social media every so often. The big thing here is just being respectful of others' opinions and trying to see each other's perspective. After all, everyone deals with anxiety differently.
There are some people who live in the here and now and thrive off of everything going on in the media and buying all the hand sanitizer and doing all that because they're trying to gain control to ease that feeling of anxiety. While other people, on the other hand, are kind of downplaying things, and it almost presents as being dismissive, even though that's not the case. They might be doing that to ease their level of anxiety. So it's important to recognize that everyone's processing things differently, and it's really important to make sure that you're being respectful of that, of other people.
So I can understand it's easier said than done. I'm sure we've all dealt with this at some point, but the big thing here is it's really going to be hard to change someone's mind. So if we can just be respectful of others' opinions and do that, I think that could go a little bit of a long way. So we have all their contact information because Lifeology is still seeing people and new clients. You'll find that in the story on our website. Back to you.
Great resources to reach out to right now because,
sure.
yeah, like you said, everyone's struggling in their own ways. Nicole, thanks.
All right, let's check in with weather.
Yeah, Brody, good morning. We're struggling with regards to these temperatures recently, obviously, and windy days as well, very chilly. Yesterday only got to 36 degrees. Folks, it's not that easy to only get to 36 degrees this time of year, but that's all we got to with some of those snow showers around, and they were more like snow squalls even into the afternoon. It wasn't really accumulating to any great extent, but it was reducing visibilities. I know that. And well, we don't have a whole lot of snow right now, but there are still a couple snow showers out and about, mainly to the south and the southeast of GR. The pavement could be damp, though, from a snow shower that did roll on through in the past couple of hours. So would there or could there be a slick spot? Certainly there may be, especially south of I-96. That's where a couple of these lake effect snow showers have been recently. These are the purple shaded counties, and those are the freeze warning counties that have been under this freeze warning for a number of hours and will continue to do so until 8 a.m. We're only about an hour and 45 minutes away from the expiration of those, but these advisories down to the south, the light purple shaded counties into northern Indiana and Ohio, those going to affect overnight tonight at 1 a.m. and last until 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. We do not have any winter weather advisories into southern Michigan at this point. We'll see if that holds firm. The latest runs of the models keeping the heaviest snow with this incoming system later tonight just to our south, but there will be some accumulation for our southern sections. More on that to come. Look at all these blue colors and deep blues and purples taking up a lot of land over the lower 48. That is very cool air for this time of year. So I guess the good thing is at least we didn't have this type of a pattern in January and February very much. Otherwise, we would probably be even in the single digits or below zero, and certainly way below zero with the wind chills. So I guess that's some saving grace, and we're getting closer, folks. We're only a couple months away from the longest day of the year, so it can't help but start to warm up in due time. Just not quite yet. Southwest winds at 5 to 10. Look at the wind chills running in the upper teens to around 20 degrees. So if you are going outdoors in the short term, make sure you're bundled up. If you're going outdoors this afternoon, make sure you're bundled up because we're only going to 41. Partly sunny skies will be around despite the fact that we do have a couple snow showers out there right now. High pressure is not far away to our south, even though there's this little ribbon of flurries and light snow approaching out ahead of the main area of low pressure over southern Colorado. Those front-running flurries will fall apart as they run into some high pressure. What we've got right now are just lake effect variety flurries and a couple snow showers and squalls. This is not a real widespread, but Middleville over towards Lake Odessa, that's where some of the heavier snow showers are right now, depositing a new dusting for a few of us. Yes, getting on top of those cars once again, not on the order of yesterday, I don't believe, in terms of the accumulations, but we do have a new dusting light coating for some of us. Now, this system that'll be producing some wider spread snows around the Midwest. Watch this come together through today and tonight. This is at 6 p.m. on the time code. Some snow starting to arrive into Illinois, and then eventually the trajectory of this system will begin to head a little bit more northeastward with time. This is the RPM model. We take a whole host of models and to come up with our forecast, but I do think that the northern edge of the snow will be a little bit further northward. We're going to get some light snow into Grand Rapids tomorrow morning. Not a whole lot, though. Probably a coating, something similar to yesterday where it'll melt during the afternoon. You get southward to Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, a little bit better chance for maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches of snow, and then right up against the Indiana line tomorrow morning, early afternoon, a sloppy 2-3 inches or so. Southward from there, there could be a little bit more in northern Indiana. And then once that gets out of here, folks, we're setting up for a beautiful Saturday. Sunshine will be in full force. Temperatures back into the 50s. And there's a look at the latest run of the GFS. The majority of our viewing area is not going to have too much substantial snow tomorrow morning, but we will talk more about this in the upcoming forecasts or the upcoming segments as we go along. Temps do get back into the 50s early next week.
The Boy Scouts of America have not skipped a beat when it comes to the Stay Home, Stay Safe executive order.
The organization continues to help young people prepare for life during COVID-19. Our Mike Avery joins us with what the Scouts have been up to. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning to the both of you. And you guys said it, prepared for life. That's the Boy Scouts motto. And that group is just staying very busy doing just that. Now, they can still achieve all the goals that they want in their program because it's up and running on the Boy Scouts of America website. Now, to be fair, the content, programs, and instruction has always been available to the Scouts online, but during the pandemic, it is open to everyone, not just Scout families, free of charge. Now, there are projects you can do from kindergarten all the way up in their homes and, of course, backyards. The Scouts can pick up a bunch of their merit badges during this time, from bird study, chemistry, and chess to cooking, more than 50 in all. The organization is making good use of technology right now.
We're able to do just so much right now to deliver helpful resources to families to continue the character and citizenship and leadership learning that people have come to expect from the Boy Scouts of America right at home in this at-home time. Moms, hey, you can use this online program for your kids too if you want to break from whatever else is going on at your house that day. Take a look at this fun activity. Our kids just did it. Maybe your kids could enjoy it. So we're seeing that, and we're just really proud that families are embracing it that way and that the kids are leading the way.
As a result of COVID-19, the Scouts won't be able to have their building character celebration like normal. Their celebration features those who earned Eagle Scout awards and other top awards in their programs. And just like everything else, guys, it will be online on May 6th, starting at 6 p.m. And of course, you can be a part of that celebration if you'd like. Just go to michiganscouting.org/live stream, and a lot of great tools to use if you want to keep those kids busy.
Yeah, another thing that you can add into that homeschooling and great celebration. They've all worked so hard for that.
Mike, thank you for that. It is 6:21, still ahead on Fox 17 Morning News.
Restoration for the Notre Dame Cathedral is on hold, plus the longest animal in the world has been discovered. That's coming up in today's trending stories from around the world.
And say good morning to our Fox 17 Facebook fan of the day. Today it's Charles Willick. Charles, thanks for watching. We'll catch you after this quick break. Time now 6:24. It's been 1 year since France's Notre Dame Cathedral caught fire.
Rob Westaby joins us with the status of restoration efforts and some other global headlines. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you ever forget those first images and the images of watching the cathedral burn all night long in Paris 1 year ago, and we could do nothing about it? Well, the massive blaze, of course, destroyed the spire and most of the roof of the cathedral. And immediately, money poured in to pay for getting the landmark back to its former glory. Sadly, all construction efforts have been put on hold since March, due to coronavirus, of course. Despite everything, the cathedral still stands as it is, as a symbol of hope for the world. Scientists in Australia have recorded the longest animal ever seen. Don't expect to see any legs. This may just look like a light rope underwater, but it's called a siphonophore. And this one is 150 feet long. Siphonophores are actually not single animals. They're colonies, similar to coral. They're made up of tiny zooids that clone themselves and then work as a unified team. Specimen was found in a canyon in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Western Australia. Researchers have also discovered 30 new underwater species during this particular expedition. You think bobbleheads are only for sports figures? Not today. The National Bobblehead Hall of Fame has created bobbleheads for Dr. Deborah Birx and Dr. Anthony Fauci. Birx is the coronavirus response coordinator for the White House's task force, and Fauci, of course, is the top infectious disease specialist consulting the president. The National Bobblehead Hall of Fame, I didn't know we had one, says it will donate $5 for every bobblehead sold to protect heroes, funding in support of the 100 Million Mask Challenge. Bobbleheads will be made available for pre-sale $25, and they say they'll be shipped in July. And finally, you never think that Bon Jovi would be singing material from 5-year-olds. He surprised some Florida kindergartners during an online writing lesson by singing their work. Take a listen.
But for now, we can't go to school. I'm missing all of my friends, so I video chat with them. I'm trapped in the house.
Last month, Bon Jovi called for fans to help him out, finishing the lyrics to a song called Do What You Can about the fight against COVID-19. The student's teacher caught Bon Jovi's attention, and the rest is musical history. How about you, Brody? You're the musician in this crew.
I'm jealous. I wish I could video chat with Bon Jovi. Holy
I know, that's
cow.
pretty cool. I'm curious to see
cool.
what music comes out of this pandemic with all the artists locked up as well.
I don't know if that's going to be one where we light our lighters up to, but it certainly is creative for sure.
Yeah,
Thanks for that,
right.
Rob. We appreciate it. It is 6:27 coming up here on Fox 17 Morning News.
Well, we can feel wind, but we can't always tell which direction it's blowing. Our Candace Monticelli will show us how you can figure that out in today's fun science experiment.
You're watching Fox 17 Morning News with Mike Avery, Deanna Falzone, Anthony Dommel, and Rob Westerby.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. Thanks so much for sticking with us. I'm Alyssa Herron.
And I'm Brody Carter. Plans to get the economy rolling are in motion, with governors hashing out steps to reopen schools and businesses.
But as Fox's Kevin Cork explains, some are hesitant to return to normal life amid the pandemic.
States are forming pacts to figure out exactly how to reopen their economies. On Tuesday, the governors of California, Washington, and Oregon laying out their framework for gradually returning to normal life.
This phase is one where science, where public health, not politics, must be the guide.
The governors say life won't exactly be normal when they lift restrictions. Schools may space out when students arrive to prevent overcrowding, and large sporting events and concerts are absolutely out of the question. A similar coalition also shaping up on the East Coast, with New York Governor Andrew Cuomo leading the way. He says mass testing is crucial to allowing people to return to work, calling on the Federal Emergency Management Agency to provide more tests.
Let FEMA do the testing. FEMA should have, in my opinion, done all the purchasing of the medical equipment, and they should have allocated it.
But not all states are on board with getting back up and running. Dozens of protesters in North Carolina calling on lawmakers to reopen businesses after the governor there said loosening restrictions would be a catastrophe.
This is my livelihood. We put everything into our businesses, and it's really scary what's happening right now.
Meanwhile, health experts warn reopening too soon may bring a resurgence of cases.
Once you start pulling back, there will be infections. It's how you deal with the infection that's going to count.
President Trump says he'll speak with all 50 state governors about their plans for reopening. In fact, there are dozens of states that could be ready to go as soon as May the 1st. In Washington, I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Okie dokie, everybody, 6:33. We are moving along and getting to our weather forecast, which does still have a couple snow showers out and about. And if you're getting them, you know what I'm talking about, because it is reducing, or they are reducing visibilities, briefly depositing a new dusting around the region. The amount of real estate that these snow showers are covering is not great, though. So the majority of us just waking up to mostly cloudy skies and temperatures generally in the upper half of the 20s, though we do have some lower 30s along the immediate lakeshore. It is the lakeshore, though, and some inland spots that do officially have the freeze warnings from yesterday evening that were put in place by the National Weather Service. Maybe some vegetation we were looking to protect. Hopefully you did that, because it's pretty much come and gone now. The freeze advisories or freeze warnings will be expiring at 8 a.m. And there are some winter weather advisories down across northern Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. We do not have any winter weather advisories into southern Michigan as of now, but some snow will have to be contended with overnight tonight and through Friday morning, as perhaps you have heard in the weather forecast the last last day or so. Radar, well, I'm following some snow showers, hit and miss snow showers south of I-96, closer to I-94, and some of these pulsing to the point where, again, they can deposit a new dusting or light coating in spots. So watch it if you do happen to go out and about, if you're headed off to work. There may be some slippery stretches with these temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s. We've got high pressure to our south. It does have a little ribbon of flurries and light snow approaching it. That will be falling apart in the hours to come. It is this L over southeastern Colorado that will be making a move towards us, or at least to our south, bringing the chance for some snow overnight tonight and in through tomorrow morning. Current conditions, there they are. Temperatures in the mid to upper 20s, so it is on the cool side, and with winds that are very light, but showing a little bit of a breeze at times, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And by the way, those winds will be picking up dramatically again as we go through the morning and early afternoon, not to the extent that we had on this past Monday with gusto around 50 miles per hour, but we can get some gusts back to, say, 30 or 35 by early this afternoon. Feels like temperatures in the upper teens. It's a chilly start, no doubt about it. We don't have much in the way of snow, though, going forward. Just a couple flurries, maybe an outside snow shower for somebody. That tapers down. Everybody's dry this afternoon. Partly sunny skies do come about. How about this high of 41? Brody and Alyssa, when does it warm up? It will by this weekend just a bit. Stay tuned. Your forecast in more detail in just a few.
Looking forward to it. Thank you for Anthony. Millions of Americans, they have received their stimulus checks, but there has been some confusion about that relief money.
Our DNFL Zone joins us live with some clarification. Good morning.
Good morning to the both of you. Yeah, the big question that many have been asking is this money simply an advancement of what I'd be receiving when I file my 2020 taxes? And simply put, that answer is no. That's according to an accountant we spoke with. This is not an advancement. It's real new money. However, some changes you may have made between your last filed tax return and this year may slip through the cracks. For example, if your income dramatically changed one way or another, or if you removed or added qualifying kids.
This could be on the individual. When you file your 2020 tax return, there will be a line on it there as far as the amount of money you received under the stimulus, and then they'll adjust that up or down. And so when you actually file your tax return, you may owe a little bit more money or get back a little bit more money depending on how that calculation came out.
Okay, so to check your payment status, the IRS, you can go to their website, irs.gov, and look for the coronavirus tax relief. There's a tab right there called Get My Payment. Meantime, a new drive-through testing center is set to open up tomorrow. This one is at the Family Health Center. They plan to host it between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. at Stone's Church on West Patterson Street in Kalamazoo. They say depending on demand, future testing may happen elsewhere in the coming weeks. Those waiting to be tested must call ahead for an evaluation before showing up. And gas prices, they are now below $1 in some places across our state. Now, check this out. Just 98 cents a gallon at the Wesco on Apple Avenue in Muskegon. Now, prices aren't that low everywhere. The statewide average is still around $1.50. However, that's still a significant drop from where it was just a month ago. Remember, you can always find the lowest prices in your area by going to gasbuddy.com. And of course, we have seen a lot of people stepping up to help feed those in our community. And now a 7-year-old girl is doing her part. She's awesome. Michaela Nance wanted to help her fellow classmates. So a few months ago, she began raising money to pay off their school lunch debts. But when a local company beat her to it, she decided to use the $612 she had already raised and give back to Love in Action. The nonprofit's Backpack Blessings program provides food on the weekends to 500 elementary school students within the Grand Haven Area Public Schools District.
Makes me feel good that I'm helping others with their lunches. People shouldn't care how different they are. They should help each other. Because some kids might not have like money. Some kids might not have enough food. Some kids might not have. Lots of kids are different, but that doesn't matter.
How awesome is she? So if you'd like to give back to Love in Action, you can find ways to do so on our website at fox17online.com. A smart little girl there for sure.
Yeah, look at her go. That's awesome.
Yeah, don't let age hold you back. Deanna, thanks for that. Recently, we have had some very windy days, but Do we always know which direction the wind is blowing?
Well, our Candace Monticelli joins us live to show us the tool that meteorologists use to find out. Good morning.
Good morning. So within the last couple of weeks, we've learned about a tool to measure pressure, barometer. But today, we're going to learn about a tool to measure wind direction, and that's called a wind vane or a weather vane. So we're going to build one here this morning. Here's a list of what you need to get started at home. First, a piece of cardboard, markers, pencil, straw, construction paper, scissors, pushpin, plate, ruler, and glue or tape. This is a little bit more involved, but a great activity to take up the whole afternoon at home. So first, you want to take a piece of cardboard and take a plate and just cut out a bigger circle. I've done some prep work on this so we can walk through it together. So here is your circle. Then take a ruler, or in my case, a tape measure, and you want to draw two lines splitting the circle in fours, and then label them accordingly with the directions north, south, east, and west in the perspective spot. Next, you take your construction paper and you want to cut out a rectangle and a triangle. This is going to build your wind vane. So now you have your straw. We did this with a barometer. All you got to do is cut off the bendy part, and then you want to cut two slits in both ends of the straw, because this is where you will place your arrow and your rectangle. And this is then where you'll glue this and or tape it to make it more permanent. Finally, you take your push pin and you want to push this through the center of your straw and eventually into the top of a pencil. Don't push it down all the way. You still want this top part to be able to swivel, because this is how we're going to see the change in the wind direction. So then you put this pencil through your cardboard piece and place this either in the ground or a flower pot, wherever you have it around your home. And now sit back, relax, and start to observe it each and every day. You just created a wind vane or a weather vane, depending on how you want to call it. So this is exactly what helps us measure where the wind is blowing from. And it's often paired with an anemometer, and that is what measures the wind speed. So those two combined help us meteorologists a lot. So wind vanes, they're shaped with the arrow to point in the direction of which the wind is blowing. And then this rectangle piece catches that wind breeze to then move this top piece of the wind vane around so it can point in the proper direction. So wind is actually classified in which direction the wind is blowing from. So when we say something like we have winds, southwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour, we actually mean that the winds are blowing out of the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So something to note there when we're dealing with winds. But this actually really helps us a lot, because the main purpose of this, of course, is to help us assess weather patterns. So we can tell a lot of which direction storms are coming in from, when they'll arrive, how weather patterns will set up, even help us determine temperature for heat waves, and if we'll have colder or warmer temperatures. So pretty cool way. If you build it at home, send me your pictures on Facebook. We'll love to see those and share. And there's a full list of instructions on fox17online.com. But before we leave you, want to feature our pet of the day. And today we have Fireman. They are from Cedar Springs, beautiful horse there that enjoys long trots, napping, and eating cookies in the sun. So I totally agree with that last favorite activity. So hopefully those are helping to brighten up your day.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, they certainly are.
Yeah,
Love
very
those.
fun. I like those a lot too. 6:43, more to come.
Today's National Stress Awareness Day. Coming up, we're speaking with a mindfulness expert on the best ways to manage your stress.
And we have a birthday.